I'd like to, uh, let me explain myself. I'm making this video here because I had saw a comment by a young lady named Keshwick, who I believe that's how she might pronounce it, Keshwick, Kashwhk, Keshwick, right? That came on and was razzing on this Onision thing, or this guy or whatever for being a whiner, or for whatever reason. But then happened to mention that she thought he was being a little overboard with his explanation of a guy was kind of saying, we're getting our son circumcised, we're going to have our son circumcised. Onision, I guess, got emotional about it, which in his right mind he should. I don't know where your head's at, little girl, but it's not a part of your dick that you can just cut off. It's not extra skin. It's like your clitoris. Do you understand what that is? It's the prepuce. It's got 40,000 extra sensory receptacles, so you can elevate the sexual uh, act, and it acts as a lubricant. It doesn't. You don't have to use any jellies or anything ever, never. Because when men have an erection, it has to have something to grow into. Do you understand? If it was already, the skin was already tight, could you imagine? Think about that for a second. Yeah, some people get very emotional about it. It is child abuse because it's common knowledge now that no one except the Jews actually counsel for circumcision. In fact, if you go to a doctor yourself and ask them, they will counsel against it. There's absolutely no medical reason for it, period. And it's not a cosmetic thing. It's not to look like you're dead. It's done when you're a baby, and it can be felt. It hurts. They scream. It bleeds. It has to be cared for. It's a freaking perverted covenant with a perverted, delusional God. That's all it is. That's all it ever was. And they made up the medical shit in the last 20 years or so that it would be accepted by the American public. You don't see that. How would you like to have your clitoris cut when you were a little girl? Or when you were about 12? Without any anesthetic? Should they do in Africa? And that's normal. Yeah. Female genital mutilation. And by the way, we call it male genital mutilation, not circumcision. You want to give it a fancy name, you can. Yeah, we freak out about it. Yeah, we get emotional about it. It's our fucking penis, okay? I'm whole. It's a part of my body. You think I would have appreciated it if I got to be an adult and realized how ignorant this was? I would have wanted to kill my parents for doing that to me. You just don't get it. Think about it, like I said. What if they went in and cut your clitoris out? Miss Keshwick? You got something to say about your body and try to tell somebody they're being emotional about it when it's their penis or their vagina. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know where your head's at. Of course, you might be a Christian, so you might go along with it anyway. If you do, this may sound emotional, but you're just being stupid. Please do not circumcise your kids when you get them, when you have them, if you have any. Please, just don't. Ask the doctors. That's all I ask you to do. Ask your doctors and ask the nurses that perform them, that have to be there. Ask the surgical infector all over YouTube. Bring up uh, doctors on circumcision. There you go. There's a few good videos on tell you about it. The truth. Okay? In New York, the models who give the breasts, a lot of them have herpes, mouth herpes, like most people in America. Yeah, about 80% of people have some form of herpes in America. Yeah, it's a virus. Can't be helped. It's in the body. Anyway, that's why it's called herpes simplex. Because anyway, The moidals over there are apparently infecting all the little boys they're giving circumcisions to. Why would their mouths be infecting the little boys, you say? Well, apparently you don't really understand what circumcision is all about in the Jewish community. It's a blood sacrifice, okay? And the moidal goes down there and has to taste the first blood. You people just, do you understand why? Can you understand a little bit? Why? I'm sorry I got emotional earlier, but can you please understand why we get emotional about it? If you think about it in a female role, they do the same thing now in places. They think it's the same. It is the same piece of skin, by the way, in both bodies. Okay, so I ask that you investigate it a little more before you scold somebody who's only doing something they think is right. If he counsels somebody they're being a bad parent for not looking into circumcision the right way and doing it, or looking into it and then still doing it, that's even worse. That's definitely child abuse. Because no doctor, they just don't counsel it anymore. It's not, no, it's not a regular procedure anymore. It's a very, what are they, elective procedure, as a matter of fact. Okay? All right, everybody. Yeah, I know. Okay, this was for Keshwick, but everybody else can listen too, of course. I don't want you to. Good night. Me? Well, I'm just an earthling. I'm all over out here. Good night, you guys. It's 4:20. I gotta go.